Joined now in studio, the pride of Bogan High School on the south side. Follow him on Twitter at BullyB170. Winner of 9 straight fights in the welterweight division. Next fight, we don't know when, we don't know who, but it's for the title. Belal Muhammad. What's up, man?
What's up, brother? Man, I got to get that intro. I got to see the video behind it. That was awesome.
Listen, it's just radio, okay? I don't know that we got the video behind it, okay? But if you want the audio, we can get it to you, all right? Let's not ask for something that we can't fulfill.
Danny, I walked behind him just to get back to my chair.
Yeah, I noticed you chose to go that way.
I was extremely careful, though, not to bump him in any way. I mean, we've got like
He's a friendly guy.
Yeah, but have you seen him fight?
I've seen that, yeah.
It is violent and powerful and daunting. Do most people know that about you as you enter a room?
It's funny because when most people meet me, they're like, I thought you'd be a lot meaner. And I'm like, what do you guys think I am? It's always funny when like the older ladies would come up to me like, you're so nice. I don't know why I was booing you when the crowd was just booing. I was just trying to be along with them. And I was like, I'm the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah, mob mentality or something. But this is crazy, man. Like your social media handle says UFC welterweight on the way to the top. You're on the verge of being at the top.
Yeah, I was one of those guys where, I'm a big guy of motivational quotes, and I was always like post them and say, and I would tell people I'm gonna make it, I'm gonna do it, and they're looking at me like, bro, first of all, you're like 5'10", it's not like you have the biggest build, you don't have the craziest power, you're not the fastest guy, like I don't think you could be an athlete, like go to law school or go to something, do something else.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like my mindset's a lot stronger than everybody else's, and when people doubt me and when people tell me that I can't do something, it makes me work that much harder to prove them wrong. And I think that's where I am right now. Like being one fight away from it, it's kind of still surreal where I still think about it to this day. We're like, I'm here. I'm right at the doorstep. I'm the number 3 fighter in the world, not just in this organization or that organization, the world, the number 3 best fighter in the world. And I do consider myself, being in Chicago, one of the best athletes in Chicago at this moment. I don't think there's anybody else on that run that I'm on. And we're talking about Chicago sports. There's not a lot of good teams going on right now in Chicago.
Hey, take that, Justin Fields and Zach Levine. Belal Muhammad just called you out.
But there's that confidence. You need that confidence to be good at what you do, don't you?
Yeah, of course. You got to. If you don't have that confidence, if you're not going to hype yourself up, why should anybody else hype you up?
So how did you get to UFC? Were you a boxer first? Were you jiu-jitsu is some of the background, right?
Actually, I was just I wrestled 2 years in high school. I went to Bogan High School. If people know about Bogan, it's a city school. It's all about basketball. So like for me growing up, I wanted to be a basketball player. Watching Michael Jordan, I thought I was going to make the NBA until I realized, bro, you're 5'10", you can't touch the rim, and my brothers made me wrestle. So I went to the high school, I wrestled for a couple of years, and at that school, they didn't really promote the wrestling like that. So one year we had a great wrestling coach, and the next year he left, and we had a security guard. So I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna work with a security guard right now. So then I was just like gonna go to school. I went to University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. I was just not even thinking about sports, and then I saw in the newspaper that my old high school wrestling coach, Lewis Taylor, he was fighting, and he was for Strikeforce. And I messaged him on Facebook, slid in his DMs, and I was like, bro, you're a fighter? Because I would watch it, but still would never train it. And he's like, yeah, I train over here. It was like a couple of miles away from my house whenever I would come home and visit family. So then I would stop by, go to the gym, train with him a little bit here and there. And I just fell in love with it. The competition level of it, the self-defense level of it, that I always had, I was always a hard head. Playing basketball in Chicago, you always talk trash to people. You always get in street fights, right? So then I would have had that mindset. So him showing me how to really fight, I just fell in love with it. So I transferred to UIC, started training down here more with them. And after I got my first amateur fight, get your hand raised. It's like, there's no other feeling like it, whether it's a pro fight or amateur fight, to beat somebody and to know that all your hard work, it's worth it in the end. It was like, I got to keep doing it. So I was like, let's do this until we actually lose a fight. And made it all the way into the UFC. And from there on, I was like, once I got there and I got a couple wins under my belt, I was like, I could really be a champion. I could really do it, because all my coaches are hyping me up. My family's hyping me up, and I'm like, bro, no, there's no way I'm going to be up there. There's no way I'm going to be top 5. There's no way I'm going to be top 10. But they're telling me, I see it. Like, I've trained with some of the best coaches in the world, and they're telling me, like, the talent you have, you're capable of doing it. So once I started believing in myself, I got on this long run, and I'm not looking back.
Here he is, man, on the doorstep, like you're talking about, Danny.
And I mean, I'm now thinking about it. He might be right. He might be the best athlete in Chicago. I mean, team's got to suck right now.
He's got to be the champ, though. Got if he's the welterweight UFC champ.
All right, but the Cubs aren't. I mean, does any team in Chicago have the third best
At anything?
At anything.
Oh God, that's so sad.
I'm just saying.
Hey, Connor Bedard's almost here, man.
Connor Bedard's almost here, but like, I mean,
Justin Fields is not the third best quarterback
is
in the
Luis
NFL.
Robert the third best center fielder in the top three? Dansby Swanson's the top 3 shortstop. You know, he is in WAR. I don't know.
Yeah,
man.
he is in WAR.
Yeah, you might be. Bam. You might be right. You might be the best at what you do of any Chicago athlete. Who are your teams? I mean, you're rocking a Bulls shirt right now. Who are your Chicago teams?
Yeah, of course. I love the Bulls. I love the Bears, of course. Baseball, I'm both sided. My dad loves the White Sox, and I was always a Cubs fan. But I threw the first pitch out for both teams, and I had so many people. You're a traitor. What's wrong with you? You can't throw out for both teams. But I had to do it for my dad. I had to go to the White Sox South Side. I had to do it for him.
The Sox would never invite me, but I would throw it out for the White Sox. Yeah, I'd be there in 2 seconds.
If you got a White Sox jacket, would you wear it around? I'm just curious.
I would wear it.
You would.
I like it. I always got to represent Chicago. So for me, it's like whichever one of those teams is doing well, that's who I'm going to support.
That's awesome. I was talking to a friend of mine who's a fighter, and he knows of you and thinks the world of you as a fighter. And he said that your style is relentless pressure, where like you're weaponizing your cardio. Like your cardio is just off the charts, so you're constantly going at it. Do you feel like you can outlast, kind of Floyd Mayweather-ish, right? Like you feel like you can outlast anybody when you're fighting?
Yeah, I think for me, I'm a guy that breaks guys in there. I like to break their will. I like to see them look down or look to their coaches and wonder what to do next, because when you're in the fight and, their best move is not affecting me and I'm still in your face, you're hitting me with your best punches, you're trying to take me down and you can't, then all of a sudden, your will starts to break. Your mindset starts to break. And I love seeing that. And I love like drowning guys. So
that's totally normal. Yeah. I love drowning guys. I say that all the time.
Yeah, no, it's psychotic, but you need that.
No, I mean, yeah,
that's how you beat guys.
But that's the competition level of it. It's like when you're in a fight, it doesn't matter if you had the best team in the world. Like, if you guys come to my gym, you'll be like, you train here. It's a small, very small gym. I have 5 or 6 guys that I train with. We don't have the best places. We don't have the best doctors around. We don't have the best coaches around. And I've been to gyms where there's millions of dollars put into their facilities. They have this, they have that, they have that. And I'm still going in there and I'm still beating these guys. I'm still breaking these guys because 90% of the fight game is mindset. If I know there's no way you're going to break me before I break you. And I think that's where a lot of these guys, they look at me and they're like, he's a nice guy. He doesn't do this or he doesn't do that. He doesn't look like, he doesn't have veins coming out of his arm. He doesn't have 80-inch reach, but he's still figures out a way to beat guys. Why? Because I think that you can't measure mind. You can't measure heart. And I think that I have more than that than any of these guys.
Come on now. How do you not love Belal Muhammad? So what's a cardio workout for you? What's a normal one as you're approaching a fight?
As I'm approaching a fight, we get on the assault bike. If you guys ever seen those, it's with the arm. So I go nonstop as fast as I can go for 1 full minute. Then you hop off and you hit the heavy bag for 1 full minute. Hop on for 1 full minute, hit the heavy bag for 1 full minute, as hard as you can go. And you're going for 30 minutes straight. So most fights are 15 to 25 minutes if you're a main event. And I know that if my heart rate can get up to 190 and I can keep it there and I can be comfortable there in the practice room, I know when I get to a fight, I'll be fine.
Yeah, so me and him do the same. It's the same thing with me and my 20 minutes on the Peloton like once a month. So yeah, Belal Muhammad is here, Bogan High School, Southside Chicago. So all right, you're like fairly unassuming, like you said, 5'10". Like, you ever like get into an accidental bar fight and then just end it real quick?
When's
the last time you were in like a normal physical altercation?
When I was younger, I would get it because I had that mindset. Like I said, I love to play basketball. So we'll go to the park, we'll play basketball all the time. And I would always get into those fights. But when I started learning fighting and I understood it, like calmed me down a little bit more. But me and my coach, Louis Taylor, like I was telling you, he's a PFL middleweight champion. And we go to the export and we go play basketball all the time. But like I said, we're unassuming. So we're on the court and we're beating guys and guys are starting to talk trash to us.
Oh, no.
And then they're trying to bully us off the court. And I'm looking at these guys like, this is like funny. But like, I know that if I actually throw hands or something, I could really hurt somebody, and I don't want to do that.
Right.
So like, I always take the high road and go up, just walk away. But
that's self-awareness because you are a weapon. You are a walking weapon.
Exactly. And I know that the guys that usually talk tough, they act tough. They're really not that tough because if you actually did hit them with a real punch or you tell them to throw a real punch at you, it's laughable. Like when I teach, we'll do like some kind of seminars here and there to like people that want to just learn fighting or people that want to learn self-defense. And 90% of people in this world do not know how to throw a real punch or make a fist even. So it's like, that's the world that we live in now. And even in Chicago nowadays, like you throw a punch, you beat somebody up, they go to the car, they have weapons nowadays. There's guns nowadays. So it's like, it's not worth it in the long run.
No, that is definitely the smart answer. I would just like the idea of someone coming at you and then like 1 second, like in the movies, you just put them on the ground and be like, you made a mistake. I'm not going to make you pay for it, but you know, you get them down real quick. Because also I could see like sometimes when I was running my mouth back in my early 20s, it like I would know like, oh, my buddies were like on the hockey team and I was like rolling kind of deep. You know what I mean? But I don't want any part of the physical. I could see if I was like your skinny friend, I'd be like, yeah, I'm trying to start something because I got Belal here backing me up.
That was me growing up because we would play basketball. I was always that guy that I had the smallest friends. But they all had that little man syndrome where they wanted to always be the one to start stuff. And they're looking at me like, you throw the first punch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, not again.
Exactly.
Yeah. But nowadays, I probably just like throw a leg kick because I know that people will feel a leg kick. Like, wait, what the heck was that? Like,
Didn't even see it coming.
Yeah, they're like, you can throw a kick?
All right, so you mentioned the leg kick. I'm told that in your last fight, was it Gilbert Burns? You beat at UFC at 288. You used the switch kick really well. What is the switch kick? Can you do it to Danny?
No.
With Gilbert Burns, it was a lot of kicking.
So a lot of kicking.
For me, it was like Gilbert Burns is a big power puncher, so he throws a lot of punches with his right hand. So I knew that if I kept kicking his right hand, it would end up hurting his arm. So it would start wearing him out. So in that fight, I probably threw like 50 kicks to his arms. And like I said, you started seeing him look down, look to his coaches. I can't throw my best weapon at you because he's hurting me right now. And I was seeing him starting to fold. And by the time it was the 5th round, mentally, I knew he checked out.
You knew you had him. So what's your favorite move to utilize?
For me, I'm a big striker. So like I like to make people miss and hit them. Like Mayweather always said, the point of the best boxers are the ones that don't get hit. The best boxers are defensive, right? And I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong is they want the blood in the guts. But, you know, there's a life after fighting. So you're going to take all these big shots in a fight just to put on a show for the fans and be like, oh, yeah, I'm bleeding. I had this. As cool as that. But it's like, after the fight, how does your body feel? How does your mind feel?
What did you think about that air punch that Speaks just threw?
I was looking at it and I was like, I hope he doesn't get any street fights.
I just bobbed a little bit, then I went left jab after that. Not impressive.
Come by to the gym. We'll show you.
Man, I will.
All right, so you have been promised the title fight?
Yeah, we're promised the title fight. I got texts. I got it from Dana, so Dana can't go back on his word.
All right, so you have been promised the title fight
from Dana, so directly from Dana.
So it's either with Leon or Colby Covington, right?
Yes.
And we're not a fan. Are you rooting for it to be Colby because you hate him so much?
I actually dislike both of them. So
okay, perfect.
So for me, it was like the last couple guys I fought, I was actually friends with. Gilbert Burns, I was actually cool with. We've trained together before, and you know he's a very nice guy. So the next guy will be somebody I actually dislike. So it'll be a fun build up, and it'll be a fun fight for me to actually hit somebody that I hate.
Who do you dislike more?
Me or Danny?
I think Colby because he's louder. So I know that the build up will be funner because I'm a trash talker as well. So if he wants to trash talk to me, it'll make it a lot funner. Leon's kind of quiet, but he's a guy that I would definitely want to beat up and definitely want to hit because like he's a guy that he's on a long streak as well. And we have like a fight that didn't go to the judges. It ended in a no contest because he poked me in the eye and it was a really bad eye injury. So the fight got canceled because of that. And he would have given me a rematch. So
he's ducking you.
Yeah, he was ducking
me.
So then I'm looking at it like, bro, if you're a man, like to fight another man, and to have a no contest is like, that's like unfinished business. If you're okay and you're satisfied with that type of fight, it just tells me that you're afraid of something and you felt something in there you didn't like.
So as a longtime Chicago guy, you a fan of the Score?
Yeah, of course. I love the Score. And I used to love the Danny Mac show a lot.
Really?
They told me to say
no, they fed that to you. That's I was the
sold them out.
I was the on the Danny Mac show. I
You're the guy in the background.
Still, sometimes I was the show, but he was Danny Mac. Yeah. Somebody had to be the other stuff. That's hilarious.
That's
they
good
fed
producing.
That to you.
Oh man, you should have wrote out the bit.
I saw him throwing his punches, and I was like, bro, I don't want him to start coming at me right now.
You know, I was convinced that most UFC fighters were, I don't know, maybe psychopaths. You seem very normal. Doesn't he? Seems pretty level, pretty together.
I think he just called you a psychopath.
No,
I
I didn't.
think you should pin him.
But I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. I think
Yeah.
doing martial arts and knowing that I can defend myself and do this, it makes me calmer.
There you
And
go.
I get all my energy out hitting the bag or training. I'm training twice a day now. I just trained earlier in the morning. So I get all that pent up aggression out right now. So for a lot of people out there, I tell them, if you want to learn something, get into martial arts because it'll help you relieve your stresses.
See, that's awesome. And the discipline of doing it right.
Exactly. And you don't have to sit there and, take your energy out on your family or anything like that, or arguments or a loved one or something like that. So take it out on a heavy bag, take it out on a workout, and you'll be fine.
Not your radio partner. You know,
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean, Bilal? Yeah, you know what I mean.
Or the guest.
What do you think about my build? How would I fare in the octagon?
I mean,
How would you attack Danny? Yeah.
Yeah, that's basically that's the question. So if you want about it's about 6'1", 150, about 5 spinal surgeries with scoliosis, Jewish.
you look like you have a long neck, so I think I'll just go for a choke, make it easier for
Yeah.
make it easier on you, too. I don't want to hurt you. I don't want you to bleed
Thank
or
you.
anything.
End it quick. That's what you're saying.
Yeah.
I will tap out. I promise. Well, listen, man. Congratulations. This has been a ton of fun. Thank you for coming in. And we don't know when, we don't know who, and we don't know when, right? So we don't know when we get to see you fight for the belt.
Yeah, we don't know who or when, but
All right.
hopefully soon. Hopefully they come back to Chicago, too, man. Fighting at the United Center would be huge. They haven't been to Chicago in a while, but now they got the best Chicago athlete to put on there, so we're
That's
good.
right.
Man, so cool.
You called out Justin Fields. I love this guy.
You're going to get Scoreheads now have a welterweight to root for, man. That's
Exactly.
awesome. That's awesome.
Congrats on all the success, man. Seriously, and thank you for coming in.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you guys.
That's Belal Muhammad. We'll talk to Barry Rosner at 4. Parkins Spiegel on the Score.